Hi, welcome back to Taylor Talks, guys. I have a wonderful guest here, Misti Balven, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes, okay, I was like, oh my gosh. So she's with TrueTitle, and I'm so excited because I've been wanting to get a title person on here because it's a big part of the industry, but it's not talked about as much, I feel, and I definitely think, I'm glad you're here and we can educate people today.
Well, I really appreciate being here, and thank you for having me, Taylor.
Oh, definitely.
Really
I'm so excited. Okay, guys, so let me get into a little bit about UPKEEP. So if you don't know what we do, to put it simply, we're a home warranty on steroids. And why I say that, you're like, what?
I love it.
So we come out 4 times a year. We're gonna cover your HVAC, your appliances, electrical, plumbing, all that jazz. But along with that, we actually maintain it. We change furnace filters. We do an HVAC cleaning check in the spring and fall. So you can do what you wanna do with life. Instead of having, oh, did I change that furnace filter? Oh no, did I do this or that? You can just call UPKEEP. And we still have our vacation referral contest going on. So basically what that is, if you refer UPKEEP, they do their initial onboarding appointment, your name goes into a drawing for a free vacation. So this is open to realtors and our existing clients as of right now. If you have any questions, please reach out and let's get into about Misti. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so Misti, what pushed you in the direction of this career? Like, what was the thing that just...
Honestly, it kind of came out of nowhere. So as a teenager in high school, I babysat for a family throughout all of high school.
Okay.
When I graduated, I found out he owned what a title company was. I'd never heard of a title company.
Right.
I literally had no clue what he was talking about, but he wanted to hire me as a closer because he knew my character. Apparently, at that point, I didn't understand how important your character was, but it really is. So he hired me at the age of 18 as a closer at his title company.
Wow.
And I didn't even know what equity was. I had no clue what I was getting into. So it was one of those situations where you kind of fall into it and then you stay with it because you just start learning what you're doing and you start really gaining connections and what you do and a respect for what you do. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Right? Well,
and
definitely.
22 years later, I'm still doing it.
That's awesome. Well, in high school, they don't teach that kind of stuff. It's stuff that you kind of have to, I hate to say it, fall on your face sometimes.
Honestly, there's really no training for title companies.
Exactly.
It's not one of those careers that you can go to college for and all of a sudden graduate and hire with. Experience is a big part of being in title, I really feel like.
Yeah, most definitely. So kind of explain what a title company does and really why it's important so people know, because most people, like someone I talked to recently, they bought a home, they're like, I don't even know what the title company does. They have no idea.
No one does. And that's the funniest part because everyone pays us for our service, but no one really understands what we do.
They just know they have to pay you.
They just know we're needed. And, they have to have it because somebody said they have to have it. So unlike any other insurance, title insurance is not casualty based. It's due diligence based. So there's no such thing as a title to your home. I have a lot of people think that, they're going to get a title, like to their car.
Yeah, like a car
after
title.
they pay it off, they get a piece of paper handed over to them, and that's their title. Unfortunately, title is more of an invisible entity. I guess you could assume it to be. So what the title insurance is it protects you from any claims, any thing owed that could be possibly levied against your house that you are buying.
Like any liens that are on the property.
And it covers several different liens. So let's say you don't buy title insurance and you just do a quitclaim deed. A lot of people did this. They do a quitclaim deed from one person to another and that's how they bought their house.
Yeah.
Well, the title of your house is one of those things that can be used to leverage for bills that are owed. So that's what a claim or a lien is. It's essentially used as leverage.
Exactly.
So different things can affect that. Title insurance isn't just what's recorded in the county. So as the title company, we have to examine every document recorded in the county. That tells us what has been filed against the property forever.
Yeah.
We also check judgments. So judgments like bankruptcies, divorces, tax liens. If we don't check somebody's divorce to make sure that they're caught up on their alimony or child support, that spouse could potentially file a lien against that house saying that they're owed that child support. So that's just one part of it.
Yeah.
And then we go another step further. So not everyone wants to file the claim. Not everyone wants to go through court. There are certain things that bills can keep compiling against a property and it's never filed.
Yeah.
So as the title company, we have to check sewer, homeowners association, city municipalities, make sure there's no grass cutting fees.
Yeah.
A lot of these entities will just keep compiling a bill.
Wow.
So let's say you did that quit claim deed situation and none of those things were checked. You could potentially be buying a house that has a tax lien from a prior owner, has a judgment from a prior owner, has an old mortgage. Mortgages, just because they're paid off, are not always released.
Wow.
So a lot of times we come into contact with situations where a mortgage was paid off, let's say 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then the lender is supposed to file a document in the county saying that it's been released, removing it from title, recorded in that public records library. Mm-hmm. That doesn't always get done. Lenders have to pay for it. There's no governing associations to make sure they do what they're supposed to do. And with that quit claim that you just did, now you just may be taking a whole claim against a whole mortgage that you have no control over.
So if they actually go through closing, then all this stuff comes back on them, or can they even close at that point?
If they do it just a quit claim situation without going through a title company, that's something they're going to end up figuring out in the long run.
Wow.
If they go through a title company, what we do is we make sure all of those items are cleared prior to closing.
Yeah, so there's no issues with any of that, because that can be, like you were saying, how they compile on each other. That, I mean...
We do a lot of research. After we do that research, then we type up a commitment. It's called a preliminary commitment. So it's essentially stating that this is how we're insuring, this is what we did, this is how we can prove what we did, because we need to back all this up in a court of law.
Yeah.
Then we issue that commitment to lenders, making sure the lender is also leaning on a property that does not have a claim, because they want to make sure they are the most important part of that title, because that is their collateral.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that all that is done. After we do that, we do the closing, we fund the loan, we issue the policy after everything is recorded. So that policy is something they pay one time, and it covers them for the whole time they've owned the property, from when you own it all the way back. So all the way forward is up to you.
Yeah, right.
But you're buying a house. This is your most important investment. And you want to make sure that there's nothing coming out of the past that's going to bite you, essentially.
Exactly. And it's, like you were saying, this is people's most important and usually biggest investment.
Yeah, and that's also why there's so many different ways to put claims against it. Mm-hmm. Because it is their most important investment, and it's a solid thing that somebody could be like, okay, then we are going to put a lien against it, because if you sell it, we know we're going to get our money.
Yeah, they're going to get it somehow.
Yes, exactly.
So even after you explain all that, what's your favorite part of what you do? Like, what's the thing that wakes you up in the morning, gets you going?
The personal part.
Yeah.
I remember back when I first started, and I remember it was elderly lady, and she was very worried about the whole situation and just freaked out. At the closing table, she told me, she's like, thank you for being who you are. She's like, you've made this a lot easier on me. Aww. Even though I had no clue what I was doing. She just knew that I was going to answer her questions. If I couldn't answer her questions, I was going to find out an answer.
Yeah. And this is when you first started?
When I first started.
Yeah.
So I remember that feeling of helping somebody and somebody being like, you made a difference because you were there for me.
Yeah.
Title company is like the ultimate third party. We're not involved with a lot of different situations around it, but we know what's going on with the whole situation.
Exactly, yeah.
So we're a lot easier to talk to the customers and be like, okay, this is what's going on. This is what to expect. This is what's going to happen.
Well, and it can be scary when people don't know. It's always scary. The unknown is just scary in general. So, for you to be there and be like, oh, it's okay, I'll help you out, and if I can't get the answer, I will get the answer.
Most definitely.
Or if I don't know it, I'll get it.
And a lot of them are so scared to ask questions because it's such a overwhelming situation to go through.
Well,
like, it's a process.
I feel like a part of that, too, is a lot of people think that they should know it by now.
Exactly. Like,
and
they're paying for something. So
ask the questions.
Yes.
Like, ask so you know, because no one's going to get mad for you asking a question. Like, it's actually better for you to ask.
I say ask any question at any time. I'm one of those closers that if something really comes up, like, I'll check my email on the weekends, I'll check it at night, just to make sure things come up. Realtors don't work 9 to 5.
No, they don't. Not at all.
No one works 9 to 5 anymore.
And that's what I always say. I'm like, because someone's like, oh, are you off this weekend? I'm like, when they're working, I'm working.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly.
you were saying, if someone has a random question or something pops up that they didn't think about when I was on the phone with them or when I met with them.
Completely.
And it could change a lot of different decisions. So that's why, definitely always check in.
And even after the process is over, I make sure that people know that I'm always a resource. Like, that's really important for me. Like, it doesn't end at the closing table. Because I have people call me from years back, hey, I know you said you'd help me. Can you give this whatever? And I always do.
It speaks
Like,
volumes
it's
too.
very important. That is my favorite part of this business, is being able to do your job, do it well, and have a personal touch to it.
Yeah.
That
Most
for me is
definitely.
the most important part.
That's awesome. So I know you started Title like right out
As
the
a
gate,
child.
but when you were like younger than 18, was there anything else that you'd wanted to do before that point?
Completely off the charts, super random. I wanted to be a vet.
Really?
Yes. I love animals, and I wanted to do something with animals. I never in my life thought that this would be the course my life would take.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't ever want to be like Title or business or anything like that. It wasn't even in my spectrum.
Right. Well, and like I was saying too, you know, and like high schoolers are doing there's a lot more programs now that they're doing. Like there's the CAPS program in St. Charles County where these kids learn about all this stuff. But like when I was in high school, I didn't know what a title company did. I didn't know what a home warranty was. So it's crazy looking back and seeing where you are now.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know what equity was.
Yeah.
I had no clue what equity was. I couldn't wrap my head around it to
Exactly.
even figure it out. At the age of 18, I was a baby. Like,
Right.
I literally was a baby getting into a career that I had no clue would carry me throughout my life.
But that's awesome. I'm glad that it worked out and you love it still.
Oh,
and
absolutely love it.
that's
Like,
awesome.
It is.
I love it.
It's one of those careers. I mean, it does not. Every deal is different. Every customer is different. Every situation is different.
Every story.
Every story is different.
Yeah.
I mean, we are dealing with customers that maybe just went through a divorce, that just lost a family member, that are having to sell their house,
Yeah.
that, you know, are getting their first home, which is super exciting, or their bigger home, which is even cooler because that's the one that their kids are going to grow up in.
Exactly. And
You
they
know.
can choose more what they want instead of, you know, the starter home getting in a home. Now it's more
It's personal.
geared to them.
Everything about this is personal. And the more you realize that, the more you can really enjoy it because you're really helping.
Yeah. Well, most definitely. Thank you so much for being here. If you
for
guys,
having me.
yes, I'm so excited. I love it because like I said, it's something that a lot of people don't know about, and I'm glad that you're here and you can educate them. Now, didn't you say you did like a 30? What would you say it was? It was like a 30-second title something.
Oh yeah,
You do a little educational.
I've done here and there. I've done like little title classes for agents and whatnot. You know what to expect, like little things about the closing process, little tips and tricks, things like that you are maybe not be aware of, but are good education tools for the agents as I go.
Yeah, most
So,
definitely.
I love being able to talk and educate people and tell them exactly what I do because most people have no clue. Like, if I say title, they're like, you mean those loan places? Those places that do the loans on the cars? Is that what that is?
You're a loan person?
Yeah.
No.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Well,
So,
awesome. I'm glad you could be here, and that's a big part of why I was so excited to get you here because, like you said straight out the gate, you're like, oh, I love educating people, and that's what I was like, hey, so you wanna come on?
I love the company I work with. TrueTitle has so many closers with so much experience. I am among so many brilliant people in this company that I just could not be prouder to be part of. I mean, we're talking closers with 10, 20, 30 years experience that TrueTitle has managed to gain, and I have a lot of respect for my company. We have a great process. We have our great closers. We have 2 wonderful owners.
Aww.
I mean, I really couldn't be happier.
That's amazing. Well, guys, if you have any questions about title anything, please contact Misty. Obviously, she knows exactly what she's talking about. She's very knowledgeable, and she's a great person to talk to.
And I am there at any time, even if it's a random title question. Like, I'm always a resource, even if you don't use me, even if you have your own title closer. We all do. I have people that follow me wherever I go.
Yeah.
So I understand if you already have a relationship with somebody, but please know I'm always a resource.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the information that you've spilled. I guess I don't know how else to say it. Shared with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. This was another great Taylor Talks. Make sure you keep tuning in because we're always going to have wonderful guests here. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.